Welcome back to Twice Half That. I'm Anthony.
And I'm Yogi Berra. He was a good catcher. He's a really good catcher.
Yeah.
Yeah, and me and him were talking earlier about, all the snubs for the Baseball Hall of Fame. It's quite ridiculous when you look into it.
And this goes beyond, I think we mentioned it briefly the other day with...
the steroid era.
Well, no, not just that. Bonds not getting in on that... last ballot that they just did, the committee.
Yeah, whatever the fuck it's called.
That finally put Fred McGriff in the Hall of Fame. He should have been in the Hall of Fame during his eligibility.
They shouldn't be allowed to vote on it. There are a lot of people that should be in that they're like, well, I don't feel they should be in, so they're not going to be in.
Like Fred McGriff. The guy hit 493 career home runs. The magic number to guarantee yourself in Cooperstown was 500 for the longest time. He hit 493, led the league in home runs twice, and this was before steroids became quite as rampant. And then he was still hitting the same number where it was like 39, and you're winning the title, to where it jumped up to where it was 50, 60, So even during that time, though, he was still hitting 38, 37, he was super consistent. He was arguably the best first baseman of his generation, and he didn't get in during his original eligibility. And it's not a similar or not the same situation as Bonds and Clemens, where their name is marred by the potential steroid.
We didn't feel that he should be in. He doesn't have the numbers.
McGriff never had any.
They're
of that.
shitty. They are shitty gatekeepers.
Yeah,
it's like they're doing the opposite of the NBA.
I said it when it happened a few years ago when Selig retired, and I know it wasn't the voters that put him in. The Hall put him in as the commissioner and an owner during what is believed to be the most rampant steroid period in the history of the game.
Didn't the government twice look into steroids being used in baseball during his reign as commissioner? Why should he be in?
Exactly.
And then if that's a criteria and you pushed for it, which I'm pretty sure you did for it.
What he did is he made the owners a shitload of money. Like, the amount of money that they...
By allowing the players to use fucking steroids.
The value of their franchises and the money they were able to make has gotten to the point to where you're not going to be able to purchase a major league team for under $1 billion. You look at what the Marlins sold. I don't even remember offhand, but I want to say it was like over 2 when the Jeter-led group bought it. I want to say it was either 1 something or 2. That's a lot of money. If you go back to but there was no Marlins, but
yeah, they're a new team.
Or did he come in the year after they came into existence? Whatever, they came in I think 93. But you look at the value of the Kansas City Royals or one of these quote-unquote smaller, and you look at the value of the big market teams. The Dodgers sold a few years ago, 5-6 years ago now, but to a group for $4 billion or some shit like that.
It's a lot of fucking money.
If you go pre-Selig, you can get that for a few $100 million.
See, and that's why.
And that from that standpoint, I went down that whole fucking thing just to say he technically did his job. It was to make sure the owners made maximum value and grew maximum power.
It's like maximum,
but with a little more. Yeah.
Well, with corruption, fucking
with if you look at of corruption,
baseball was fucking failing.
And what happened was then you had we went over this at one point, the '94 strike, and after which it was really difficult to get fans back at the stadium. Or not even at the stadium, but eyes on screens. It was hard for them to get eyes until that 98 home run race, which was fueled by 2 either proven or highly speculated steroid users. Because I think there was no proof Sosa used. They ended up getting McGuire to admit to it, but I don't think Sosa ever had any proof. I mean, if you look at the way he grew, and if you want to use Bonds as your example, but you don't think Sosa was.
How many times did he get caught with a corked bat?
one that I can remember offhand.
There's like 2-3 different times.
But yeah, it's so.
And how
this is to say
cheating?
that,
or was that Major League Baseball being all like, "Hey man, kind of WWE or pro wrestling it," where it's all like, "Just do this. It doesn't matter. You guys are getting paid. Just do as you're fucking told. We want to make money. We need to make money." And then to snub Bonds, and we already went over that. But it's
to say that, like, I went down this whole thing for the fact that Selig was put into the Hall of Fame, and he oversaw all of this, and based on some of the things you hear around, he knew of all of it. It wasn't like, oh, I'm ignorant to it.
Fuck yeah, he did. I ain't trying to hear that bullshit.
My opinion, and I think we've gone into this on a previous episode as well, is that he not only knew, but he encouraged to the level of getting word downstream.
Well, and it doesn't need to be from something on high. It could legitimately be just all like, unofficially, we're no longer really looking.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, you kind of float things downstream, and it eventually gets to the players.
I believe it totally should, be allowed. Fuck it. If they want to do that, let them do it. Just keep it fucking under the rug. Do it with, HGH and other shit like that, because it's not like...
And HGH isn't going to get you as massive as anabolic steroids.
And you need it, because you're starting to see... You're demanding a lot more from these players than you once did. You want them to hit the ball hard. So that means I gotta swing the fucking bat hard, which means, I might have a Sexton-like injury because of that shit.
Twice that happened to him.
He fucked his oblique and then his back?
No. His arm broke on a check swing.
That's how much torque that man had.
He was
crazy.
also a large... I want to say he was 6'7".
Yeah, he was huge.
6'7". He was a big dude. I know when he was playing, he was one of the tallest hitters in the league.
I remember MVP fantasy draft. Him.
Oh, bro, that dude was nasty in MVP.
And I'm moving him because I got JT Snow all day.
Well, and Sexton could play third in that game. That was his alternate position, so you could do that.
For real though, JT Snow all day.
All day.
They were the best.
Dude,
JT Snow's my
I'll still
favorite
never
first baseman. And then just because he was the first baseman when I was a kid, then it goes McCovey.
That's fair. And I would definitely put Will Clark in that list, as he belongs.
Yeah.
But yeah,
badass. But there's a lot of people that should be in the Hall of Fame that aren't. And a lot of it has to do with, it kind of feels like if you were to go back to high school and one of the writers on, and I'm talking, 60s, 50s high school where there's an actual, high school paper. We didn't have no fucking high school paper, and you have a kid that tried out for the team.
Every once in a while of like a memo style. We had them out in class. We probably just didn't get them.
Nah, bullshit. We ain't never got them. Never. Any class. Never seen them. Never heard.
No, I didn't say it was a newspaper. I'm saying we got...
Or a leaflet. I don't remember none of that bullshit. None of it.
It wasn't a newspaper. It would just tell you what was going to happen.
Here goes a fucking... what is it? Fortune cookie. That's what we got. Apparently, I don't remember seeing that shit, so we didn't have it. But you go back to the 1950s, where you had a kid who wrote for the newspaper, who tried out for the baseball team, didn't make it, and then, he's been bitter about that shit ever since. Now he writes for, the city newspaper, and he's just stuck up, a whiny little bastard who is constantly shitting on people. No matter how good they are, he always has some
the better they are, the more.
Yeah, it's just like, well, if he wouldn't have did this... Or asking them, kind of off-the-cuff ass questions during the press shoot.
Borderline,
and they're just supposed to eat
borderline, completely inappropriate type questions. Like borderline, it's still valid, but it's by the slimmest hair, and that's what you're going to lead with.
And in all honesty, I would like to see it to where the reporters were on the field and there was a little booth that you could go to, and there's local, and then you go to ESPN, and the players, whatever just happened, they're in the heat of the moment, they're pissed, they just go right to that press dude and they fucking start talking shit. Like in between quarters, or when they can, not obviously when they're reviewing plays and getting ready for the next shit. But I'd like to see that way at the end of the game these people could just go home, or they can review film.
Well, and it's I can't remember if that was on. I don't care
hearing from anybody unless it's the postseason.
I can't remember if it was on the show or when we were just talking bullshit and talking about just that, like players getting mics in their face immediately after defeat, not even victory, after defeat. Like, you're not even like, I literally just went out there and put everything I had out there. I need to go kind of decompress a little bit. It's like you... No, hold on. What were you thinking when the ball went over your glove and the winning run, or the tying run, went in and the go-ahead was sitting on third with no outs, and your closer just got hit by a line drive that broke his motherfucking shoulder and just barely went over your glove? Could you tell me about that? And you're just sitting there. Sometimes you're just so pissed off, and what the fuck do you want me to say? It happened. It sucks that his fucking shoulder broke. It sucks that happened. Hey. Well, it's also like it's a similar situation, but reverse it. You're the pitcher. How did you feel when the ball went under your shortstop's glove?
Like, my shoulder was hurt. I was pissed. Like, what more do you want? It's like, it's the human condition. I want you as a fucking writer to put a little bit more on it rather than just being all like, what were you thinking? And then write it down. It's all like, nigga, I have video for that. I don't need you. What are you there for? Why don't we just have him stand up there and then have these pundits for ESPN or even my local news ask him this question? Why do I have to hear it at a press junket when literally you could just do it the old school way? You have very limited access. You get it in-game. When that shit happens...
Well, that's what I was saying is...
I
can't remember if that was on here or like
on it.
When we were bullshitting, talking about just that, where it's like... And then on top of the, being there, I remember at City College, at Candlestick, they had like a little press room, and I'm sure all the new ones have little press rooms outside the locker room. So after the game, after you've changed, showered, cleared your head, if you go in there, and it's like, and they require media availability, like that's a league-wide thing. I feel like football's a little bit different because you only have one game a week, but like baseball, like basketball, and especially baseball, where you got 3, 4, 5, 3 or 4, usually 3 in the case of basketball, or 5, 6, 7 sometimes in the case of baseball. Why do I have to be available to the media after every game?
I just want the manager. That's all I want. So really, that's all I want to hear from.
Unless something spectacular happened in that game. Pitcher throws a perfect game, then okay.
Yeah, something big, then let's talk to you.
A hitter hits 4 home runs in a game, which is a rare feat, or hits for the cycle, or, just gets 6 hits in a game, or something like that. Like if there's a feat that's worth noting.
I don't want to hear from Brady after, Sunday's game. That's not appealing to me. Do I want to hear from Purdy? That's who I want to hear from.
Yeah, exactly.
Purdy and the coach. That's it. Nobody else. And maybe, one of the, not even the offensive guys. Maybe
let them McCaffrey. Maybe McCaffrey, because
his game. He had a really good game. So you do them 3. Bow.
Or you go with football, you go with,
or better yet,
a couple star players, and then
you have the defense come out and you let those guys talk, because it's a big problem.
Let Greenlaw talk. Let
especially
Gibson.
With what he did, and you got to admit, it was very big of Brady.
That was real shit right there.
That was cool. That was showing you're a legend. He literally intercepted Brady's pass after the game, goes up, he butters his bread. That's what you're supposed to do. And then he asked, I've been watching you since I was a child. Could I get your autograph?
The best part is he brought it over there and he was going to do that, and then he decided he wasn't, and then Warner came up to him like, you asked him to sign it yet? He's like, well, it's like, shit, now I kind of have to. And to Brady's credit, he sat there and he signed it. He didn't have to do that shit.
Well, at this level, he needs to, I'm pretty sure he understands you are a living legend. You are a playing legend. You may not be playing all that great, but that doesn't matter. You have a pedigree behind you.
Yeah. You're a name. You're a name.
You're a name.
And that's not to say you're only a name. You're a name that everybody knows. You
have achieved, knighthood in the NFL, in all of the sports,
in all the sports world.
When you're that, LeBron has that.
Curry's getting
has that.
Curry, if he has it, he has it here for sure, and I think he does have it.
No, I mean within the league.
Yeah.
He has it.
Oh, 100%.
People on their way to achieving it. Giannis. No, not yet. This nigga hasn't proved. I like him, but he hasn't proved anything.
No, I'm just saying he's on his.
He's on the road. He's on the starting block to getting there, but he's still early in his career, so that's hard to say. The same with Zion. People are like, oh, it's all like if this nigga could stay healthy, he's on the starting block. Someone who's off to a good start. On that road, would quietly on that road, and if he could continue his pace, is Tatum. Mm-hmm. Tatum is actually on that road.
This season, he's taken a big step towards
massive motherfucker. He has his whole career. People were getting on him. Hey, it's a hard thing.
Year 4 or 5 for him?
I couldn't tell you if those noises didn't allude to me not knowing. I don't know what does. But he's on his way. There's a bunch of people that are on their way, and the one thing that irritates me about basketball is they're a little too readily to hand out,
that star,
the Hall of Fame, and it's all like, settle down, little boys, because that's what makes it seem like
I kind of like the way I feel like the three major.
Better.
I like the way that football does it.
Yeah, football does.
So you're never ineligible from when I think it's like the other ones, it's like 5 or 6 years after you retire, but from that period until eternity, what I mean? Like
it takes a minute for you to be like, hey, hey, nigga, when you think about it, that motherfucker was bad, especially when you start looking at the game in different facets. You're like, holy shit.
It does bring
dude was
to light
really
some
good.
people, yeah.
Because war, if you look at war to determine how good someone is, wins above replacement.
Which I wish there was a more...
Jeter is very, very low on the list. That makes him one of the shittier...
Well, that depends. Are you going by F war, or are you going by just pure war? Because F war includes fielding, where war typically doesn't.
I think even that puts him, even as a fielder, he's not that
No, that's what I'm saying. The fielding
they both are low for him.
Damn.
But how many hits does he have? So there are a lot of intangibles that go with being a player. Do I truly believe he's Hall of Fame worthy? No. But he was the right player on the right team who consistently did and said the right thing.
I had to say that I would disagree that he isn't is because of those rings. That goes a long way in determining a Hall of Famer, especially since he was a key.
If you put him on any other team,
so if you want to preface it with that,
I'll give it to him.
If you want to preface it with that, then absolutely I agree with you. Because if you're prefacing it with, during that same period he was on
any other team,
the Pirates, the Royal,
I'll give him a fighting chance. You put him on the Braves, Bobby Cox probably cuts him, or he's a backup. Or utility guy. In all honesty, Bobby probably sees what he brings and he's like, I'd rather have my guy, who was for call. No.
Yeah.
Well, for call, fuck. How many did he have? He had 4. He went through 4 shortstops, I believe. are
might be right.
3-4. I always
That might
Bobby
be right.
Bobby always tried to keep. Got a dude, made sure he fit the role he needed,
And then kept him.
locked that motherfucker
Yeah.
in. That's how you get 14 straight pennants. I hate every other team. I had to respect the Braves.
Yeah.
You had to respect the Braves.
They were a playoff team
were a
every year,
badass team.
literally a playoff team every year of our
Literally.
pretty much
My
of our
entire childhood
of
was
our
the
rememberable childhood was the Braves making the playoffs,
Legit.
winning their division.
Legit. Wait, when's the last time the A's or the Angels? When's the last time they went to the playoffs?
2000.
Trout's first year, correct?
It was either 12 or was it his first or second year? It was either 12 or 13.
And they haven't been back. And see, that's what I mean about,
And you're talking about the best player of his generation.
oh, that motherfucker is nasty.
Like
he is nasty.
he slowed down a little bit because of injuries recently, but
But if he was on a good team,
he was on pace at early parts of his career, like pre-30. He was up there in war with guys like Mickey Mantle.
that's
That's
nasty. That is arfin nasty.
I already forgot what I was about to look up.
Whatever, it doesn't matter. Fucking, yeah, because I forgot too. I'm on a whole other train, nigga. You totally derailed me. Now I'm like, what the hell was he supposed to look up? I hella forgot. But, baseball needs to allow for these people remove, that cap and let it be lifetime. Because it's bullshit that there's a lot of... You look it up, there are a lot of people that you're like, what the hell? Like, that guy's not in? Like, are you serious? He's not in?
So, and that's exactly...
You should allow me... and the proverbial me, the every baseball fan me, to legit be able to... You know what would be cool? If you're a season ticket holder, you're allowed to vote. When you buy a season tickets, you get a vote on who gets to go into the Hall of Fame.
Or we could just go the route that I saw after I picked you up.
I don't remember that.
Where their contemporaries, their peers are who vote.
Oh, yeah. That works.
And not the contemporary committee, which is what didn't...
Yeah, you do their contemporaries.
Like their peers, the people that
played with them, who were pensioned, which is what, in baseball, 5 years.
I think it's 5 or 6, yeah. So players that
you'd have to get out of that rookie...
That arbitration,
period.
yeah.
Which, in the show, I have to say... Fuck you, Royals. You screwed me hardcore. Who the fuck? I know it's a game, but still. I mean, it pretty much scales with how the Royals operate. You get Rookie of the Year and MVP in the same year. Come back. You're on a 1-year fucking deal every year, and these motherfuckers are like, hey, look, I'll give you $1.5 million. After what the fuck I just did? Oh, and I hit more. It's a game, so obviously I fucking did stellar. But it's like, dude, that is so fucking rude.
Yeah.
That you'd be like, I'd literally, in the middle of a game, just like this to the camera, I will play for literally any other team but these people. I hate the Dodgers. I'd go to the fucking Dodgers. I legit would. I'd go to the Yankees and be like, actually, the Yankees traded me to the motherfucking Royals. So, like, the fuck, dude? Now you guys...
After the Giants traded to the Yankees.
No, that was on my Xbox.
Oh,
so
okay.
That was for last year's the show.
Oh, that's right.
But, yeah, it's just... But that's how they operate. And that, I believe, all owners... But then, see, it's hard because they want to keep those people because that's an easy victory, relatively.
Yeah.
And that's what's irritating.
Well, and it helps you control certain things, and getting into baseball, like, we're in the, waning days of free agency. I mean, it goes until February, but a lot of the big stuff's happened already, but you look at some of these contracts being handed out, and they're bad
like
business. They're bad business, and I
believe the player should get paid merit based.
Well, I like the merit based, but it's like if you're going to keep it the way it is now, you have a hard floor on teams, and this is how you can try to sell it to the Players Association, is we're going to force these teams that are just pocketing all this money to actually have to put it back into the field.
Yeah, I think we looked it up. Some teams have like a 35...
There were a handful
like
of teams.
$55 million.
There was a handful of teams under like $70 million.
And it's all
when you look at what somebody like a guy like Judge just signed a $40 million a year contract. You have some teams that are paying their entire team just over that.
Look at Lamar and what he's trying to get. I don't like that, because as a fan, it's like, bro, I want you to get paid, but I do not want to mortgage the fucking team's success in the future off of you and you staying healthy now.
Yeah.
That doesn't work. You know, look at what the Niners are currently going through. Who the fuck is injured? You know, obviously the dude we stupidly traded 2 number 1 picks for, he's out this season.
And then the guy
that for whatever reason you wanted to jump off him before his contract was even up, you know, you fucked that up, and he's injury prone. He goes out. And now look at Purdy. His oblique is fucked up. And obviously Debo, you know, all that.
And it sounds like he may have just dodged a major bullet. They're saying that it is an MCL sprain and an ankle sprain, but it's not very severe, and he's expected to make a return during the regular season.
What, he hurt in his butt? Nah, but seriously, that's good news. But I agree with Jerry. Stop using him as, you know, a fucking running back. You know, don't use him as much.
Yeah.
Have him block a lot more.
Keep those plays, because they are gash plays. They go big, but if you use them 150 times, one, you're going to run your player into the ground.
We can go down the field a lot more now. You know, which I believe the Niners were saving for the playoffs that way, because Jimmy
and that's not abnormal accurate, where teams do that. Like, they don't open up their book completely until the playoffs, and that's where
they call this a cookie.
It's the inside of the chocolate that's a cookie.
I guess Twix.
Yeah,
I just read that right now. Like, what?
They call this a cookie?
They try to give me DNA.
2 for 2 cheeseburgers.
I love Muni. People be talking shit. Muni's the shit. Make eye contact, nigga. Let them know that, hey, you ain't gonna just fucking come up and take my shit. If they see this might be more than I bargained for, you know, they're most likely gonna leave you alone. You know, take this from someone who's had to I mean, what? Nah, but seriously, just, you know, carry a gun. A fucking... or a taser. You could buy... They got the pepper ball shooters.
Oh, yeah.
I fucking want one of those. I hella want one of those. Dude. Just be like, fuck, man, I want to shoot somebody hella bad. Someone give me a reason. Somebody give me a reason. I can't just shoot somebody. Really, hey, I have like $200 on me. It's like, good shit. Damn, he doesn't want to rob me.
Oh, look, this 5-carat diamond ring.
It just fell on the floor. So, oh shit, there goes cop. No, not in San Francisco. They're all stupid. And they're all like, what? You can't tell me what to do. I'm taking no goddamn shot. And then the city said, then I'm gonna fire you. And then they were like, you can't fire me. And then the city said, did you get the shot by the deadline? No. So they said, you're fired. And then they were all like, oh, what?
Well, the other thing that happened, too, is a lot quit.
Yeah,
because they refused
stupid.
to.
They're dumb. They're
so they didn't get fired. they quit.
And that goes to show you, again, we need an educated police force to, go on a tangent, because a lot of these motherfucking dudes are pretty fucking stupid. They are. A lot of people think, we've been brainwashed into thinking that a lot of the people in high up positions are well educated.
And then you go to work and you go, holy shit.
Yeah, they're dumb. They're pretty fucking stupid. And you're like, God damn.
It's like I remember making the comment at one point that it's almost like you have to be like dumber at each level just to move up. That's how you get ahead.
Well,
whether or not you're truly dumb or you just play into that, lean into it real hard because you know that it's going to push you up.
It's playing dumb, and a lot of people unfortunately get places because they, steal other people's ideas. They rob them of their shit, and and then they take credit for it. They're real good at PR. Most hard-working people don't really like to fucking network, because that has, in real life, I'm not talking about with entertainment or with anything massive like that where you need a face. I mean, most motherfucking businesses are like, I'm here to just fucking work, operate, sell my shit, and get it done. And a lot of people don't realize is, if you advertise, it's all like, yes, but there is a give and take with that. Sometimes you're spending a lot on advertising and it does nothing. I think a lot of the screwy accounting in Hollywood comes from the marketing. It's like, we have to fucking market, we have to put billboards up, it's like, or you could have a house editor who does trailers, who sits down with the director and the editor of the film, and put out something.
Hire this marketing firm.
No. They don't hire a marketing firm. What they do is they get that shit done for relatively free by editors who are trying to get their name in the business. So they're essentially picking up this work for fucking nothing. CGI, that's why, Marvel fucking sucks so much ass, is because it's all CGI. They don't plan. Who was it? Somebody bitched about them not having a script. I think it was Jeff Bridges. He was like, we're spending $200 million on this movie. We're 2 months out and you don't have a script.
For the second...
for any of them. That's how all those fucking movies went. And it's
I'm talking about with Jeff Bridges, though, from...
But that's something that would piss me off. You look at, what the fuck is it called? That new one with Doctor Strange. Those motherfuckers were literally writing it as they were going. That's bad.
When you
look at Superman. Superman's garbage. Snyder, I like the idea, and people didn't like, Superman killing Zod, and I do. The problem is, Zack Snyder's not all that great of a storyteller. He's a cinematographer.
He's a great storyteller with visual.
No, he's not.
No, I mean
cinematographer.
Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about. The visual aspect.
Look pretty. He's not a visual storyteller. Otherwise, you would have understood with dialogue and visuals. Superman doesn't want to kill. The central theme is Zod's telling him, nigga, real world, I'm gonna murder these motherfucking people. What are you gonna do to stop me as we fight to prove my point? Zap that nigga. Zap his daughter. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You ain't gonna stop me, homeboy. I'm gonna keep doing it until you permanently stop me. And that's the whole thing. And that's where I believe they fucked up. Where Batman versus Superman, the dilemma should have been Batman trying to convince Superman he has to end him. I'm on the same page as you, bro, but you have to end this nigga. Then to end, that movie, Batman versus Superman, or however you want to do it, you have, and it should be Superman, actually, before they have that fight, you have the end of the second act. Superman gets ass beat by the three other Kryptonians. I was like, am I saying it right, or am I fucking, thinking of something else?
Croptopia.
Well, because I've been playing hella Skyrim, so it's like,
I need to get back on Skyrim.
Yeah, Scrim. It's the shite, but
one of the
you have that.
It's probably the best Elder Scrolls game in my opinion.
Yeah, and then you have Superman literally about to die. Him waxing poetic, throwing in that old school, trope of homeboy just literally waxing poetic, but this means something. He's telling him, homeboy, you were but a fucking child. I have been waging war since before you were born. I was with your dad. That nigga was doing the same shit I was doing, if you want to go the same route that Schneider did. Which makes sense with what's going on. It bumps it up to a little bit more realistic stuff. And it's all like, we're on our last legs, bro. I have a ship. And then you have that same, philosophical discussions. And right before he gets fucked up, he's going to deal the death blow. You see a tried and true ninja thing. Puff of smoke. Actually, before you see a puff of smoke, you see, them here and them dodge a bunch of a fuck ton of shit. And this is where you're like, that Earthling is a goddamn problem. That nigga somehow knew to use kryptonite, use it in a way that literally funneled all three of us in a group so he could bomb with one good gas fucking Krypton shit and literally just knock us all out, take, Kal-El, and then he's gone. And then literally you have Clark sitting in Bruce's shit, and then you have Batman let him know.
Yeah.
I know, or, he strips him of his suit, puts him in clothes, or has Catwoman do it, and then have him put back in his, his apartment. When he comes to, why the fuck is Bruce Wayne in here? And then he says his real name.
Yeah.
And then it's all like, oh shit. Then you could kick off the Justice League. That would be better. Then, or you have it, you don't want Batman to do it. Save him alone, because that doesn't make sense. You have him show up with the Martian Manhunter.
With Wonder
Even
Woman.
Better. No, you have her show up later. You have her literally come in like a fucking whirlwind, like they showed her come in the other one, where, literally shit's going down. You only have Martian Manhunter and Superman versus 3. You need another one. Batman could only do so much.
Against 4.
Well, because you have Zod and then these 2 other dudes. And Batman, in this case, he's nothing. He's a human. He's a fucking human. Where he comes in is logistical. He's a ninja. He's a detective. He's figuring a lot of this shit out and their weaknesses. He's the chess master. And he has the
resources to get those weaknesses.
And that's where I think Marvel really messed up, is they threw all their eggs into the Iron Man basket, spread it around. Iron Man is one guy. You made him, you lost me when, well, I guess this nigga's just automatically God tier somehow. Motherfucker just automatically, instantly went to God tier. Skipped everyone else. Fuck, Rogers. He's a superhuman, but somehow, Iron Man, they beefed him up too much. And that's what had me like, get the fuck out of here, dude. And they lost me with that. Making the Hulk a straight little bitch. Read the comic books. Literally. Go to Comic Books Explained, the Hulk. And when you watch that, you're like, he was nerfed hardcore. You could have literally forked off and did a more mature line by having the Hulk meet Thanos quick when he only has one stone.
Yep.
The whatever teleportation stone, whatever fucking stone does that. He literally fights the Hulk one-on-one, like, let's see how tough you are. And then literally he's beating his ass. Every time he does it, it's just literally, and that motherfucker gets bigger. And then he's all like, the more I win using this stone, the bigger and harder and more this nigga gets, and more often I have to use this goddamn stone. I can't do this. Teleport this motherfucker gone. Who else do they have like this? Are there two of them? I'm gonna fade back, and now I'm gonna have my guys go in there and then do that. That would have been better, because I don't know, it makes more fucking sense. If these people watched, just a run, like maybe 6 months of, I know it's going to be hokey and a little cheesy, but watch wrestling from like the 70s and the 80s, or really the 80s, from certain, like Memphis, Mid-South wrestling. I didn't know about that until I started listening to Jim Cornette. Yeah. But a lot of the shit we liked as kids that
originated there.
Yes, a lot of the shit that I like, that I'd like to see return to wrestling, because I know it's predetermined. It's not the outcome that I'm watching. It's the journey to there. It's how well do I work with this motherfucker without you realizing that me and him are working together. And then because we work together so well, I do something stupid that, he kind of is all like, you motherfucker, I didn't know you were going to do that. And he laughs because it was just unexpected.
Yeah.
He took a little bump. He got a little fucked up, but I also take one back. Give me this. And then, it's playing back and forth. So now it's watching two people play catch, running around the field, throwing it. Can you catch that one? Can you catch that one? Rather than it being, which is now, can you do this move? Can you do that move? Or, it'd be cool if they did this, rather than it being, logically, if they were fighting, this is what would happen.
Well, that's what was great about a lot of the older wrestling.
Because
that's even into the 90s and stuff like that, it would be, all right, this is how it's going to finish, or this is who's going to win, this is how they're going to win, this is how you get to that point, and then everything prior to that, from the time that match starts, is all improvised.
And then after the match,
and it's improvised in match, where it's like, all right,
you're working together. And then it's all like, all right, we built it up, and a lot of it is not me and him deciding what we're gonna do. It's me and him are playing the crowd.
Yeah.
What's the reaction we're getting from him? If he's supposed to be the good guy and I'm the bad guy, and the goal is for him to get over, I need to do shit that makes him look good. And by looking good, I mean I'm fucking this nigga up. I'm doing shit that I shouldn't be doing. Oh, he hit me hard. Not really, but I elbowed the motherfucking ref, and he got all fucked up and got knocked out the ring. And then I come at this nigga with an illegal move, because that's why you have illegal moves. I hit him with a pile driver. Up, he's knocked out, and then the ref comes back up, or I run outside and I pick that motherfucker up and I throw him in there. Come on, man, pay attention. Then I climb the ropes and I jump and I land on him. 1, 2, 3. That type of shit. He cheated, man. You're not supposed to do tombstone. Tombstone's an illegal move, and it's a finisher. So when I do it, you're done.
So and that's
if you
what
do
made
the finisher
like
right.
I think you've told the story of the Stone Cold and Big Show one.
No, it's Stone Cold and Owen Hart.
Oh, was it Owen Hart?
Owen Hart did an ass drop, and
I'm talking about the where he put over Big Show by doing the stunner on him 3 or 4 times.
Like
so. It's like so, like you're saying, like that's supposed to be a finisher. You can't do that in the middle of the match. So he used his finisher on Big Show because he was supposed to lose, even though the Big Show's the new guy. And Stone Cold's established. He's like, that's not fucking happening.
No, I'm not going to lose to him.
I'll put him over, though. And what he did is he basically did his finisher, went for the pin, told him, kick out.
Yep, and told him, mind you, the Big Show has no control in this match. This is all Steve Austin. He determines what's going on in there. So when he told him to kick out of his finish 6 or 7 times, that's literally like he's doing me a massive fucking favor. Then when he finally beats him, he's like, fuck, and rolls out, saying, fuck you, drinking a beer as he's walking backstage. And then the Big Show gets up. He lost, But if you're anybody there, you're like, holy shit.
Especially those that believe that it's real.
You're going to be like, that motherfucker can take it. And as someone who knew it was fake, you could see some of the hits aren't landing.
Yeah.
But I
mean, when you're there, it's like sometimes
it's not even. Sometimes it's like that. That's how it is now with AEW. And it's like...
And you can see them hitting their own hand with their elbow when they're elbowing them just to create that smack.
Hit me, motherfucker. It better be a glancing blow. Or that's why in the old days you never seen them go for the face, or when they did, I'm hitting you with.
Yes, they would go over body, and it's just there, I could skim off
and you're
your
really
chest.
And they don't want to punch. That's where the backhands come from, and the open hand slaps and shit. And someone put grip tape. Fucking who was it? It was, I want to say it was Jake the Snake, but I don't think it was Jake the Snake. It was someone else, and no, it wasn't Jake the Snake. It was it was Flair and some other dude, and he put grip tape on his motherfucking hands, and him and Flair are just hitting each other in the fucking chest, and that shit hurts. You take a couple just open hand, and you start.
And like, if I were a professional wrestler, the punch to the chest, where I'm just lining up and I swing and I just skim off.
That'll piss your shit off.
But the open hand smack, because they're actually hitting. Obviously it's not full speed, full strength, because then you'd really fuck someone up.
Apparently Hardcore Holly caught somebody. That motherfucker.
Well, and
known for giving you some good ones right to the chest.
Well, and then there's the things like you see in movies, like outtakes and stuff like that. On occasion, you will accidentally connect. It happens. Apparently, it's inevitable.
What's his name? Stallone was notorious for fucking hitting the stunt doubles. I would tell everybody, if you all chip in some of your motherfucking check, I will gladly beat this nigga's ass. But they wouldn't do it because he's a star of the show, and you could get blacklisted.
And not just that, if he goes down, then you got no more paycheck.
You know who didn't give a shit about that? Gene LaBelle.
Really?
He choked him out, and then he shat himself. Yeah, and then got up and ran like his little fucking weird run. Yep, he got fucked up by LaBelle. He thought he was slick. It's all like, Aikido, he knows judo, he knows, and wrestling. That is an actual MMA guy. He will fuck you. He's one of the first. Him and Bruce. People are like, Gene beat Bruce's ass. No, he didn't. Gene knew something that Bruce didn't. And Bruce said, the only way to see that is if we spar. I don't know it. Teach me. Let's go. I know basic shit. Let's go from there.
And it's like, I feel like Bruce, just based off of things I've heard and just looked into,
they were friends.
Well, no. He was more of a kinesthetic learner.
Yeah.
He would learn through doing. He didn't learn, he did map stuff out.
You experience what's going on the other side, too, because then it's easier to determine how to operate.
So it's like he was taking all of it in while learning it, and on both sides. While he would go map out stuff, to learn it, he definitely had to.
He went. That's why you see in Enter the Dragon, that tournament, that's MMA. And he legit, the gloves were created by him. They just needed to be smaller. He's like, I don't need boxing gloves. And when you see, he gets a dude in an armbar. Who'd he learn that from? LaBelle. I'm pretty sure.
His hands were so fast.
Oh, man. He was stupid fast. You see him against the other black belt? Grab my hand. And he legit, his hand went to his chest and then back before that fucking black belt had even started to. He was fast. And he'd have a light board with a bunch of holes that were, put,
which is
in
an exercise they use now, where with the lights in the the U shape, the upside down U,
and it turns on and he'd punch, pop, 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 like that. He was a bad mamma jamma.
That's nuts. And the amount of power he could generate. in a small period of time, in a small
So if you're
distance.
going to be an athlete, you really, really should learn the art of the 1-inch punch, because it shows you, it really helps
just
you
like going
understand.
from that, it's like,
well, because you're not using your arm.
It's
teaches you to use your hips. You only got an inch, so it teaches you to use your whole fucking body.
which
And
would
if
help
you're
in
gonna
most
hit, yes,
most
in
sports.
everything. You know, when you're screwing, it helps with that. Male or female, it helps you dig a little deeper and get, you know, that deep down nut, if you catch my drift. Nah, but seriously. Or you do the breathing techniques of Sting. You know, like, Sting can hold a nut for hours. What the fuck was that in? It was some stupid ass movie. What was it? Airheads?
Maybe.
I want to see another Bedazzled. Have you seen Liz Hurley? She's still super fucking hot. You know, and, you know, she's single. Just don't tell my wife. You know, hey.
That's all right, I'm gonna send this over.
I'm just saying, 1 for 1, Idris Elba, you know, she could be fucking single for a night as long as I could be single for 10 nights. Nah, but get away from her.
Damn, I don't have a knife to hand you.
I have one in my back pocket. I had to fucking, I can't.
You better stay way, Idris.
Oh, he's just on the red carpet like, can you remove that guy? Fuck you, Luther. Fucking, like, those people deal with a lot of crazy.
Oh yeah, they do. And the bigger they are, like a guy like Idris, well, I gotta respect. It's like I'm not real big into EDM and stuff like that, but he's got a whole second career as a DJ.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Oh, damn! I didn't know he was a dope fiend. I mean, come on now. You are only into. They're like, EDM goes with everything, nigga. It's one fucking beat. It is legit just one beat that people have variations of, and everybody there is high as a motherfucking kite. I'm talking high.
Your eyes 100% pupil.
I'm like, so much so that they're handing out water. Here, drink, make sure that you don't overheat. And just high as fuck sitting there like... So, like, nah, bro, you're a dope fiend. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. You're a dope fiend. I've had people like, no, they're not. They just enjoy the fucking rave. I'm like, okay, so...
Chemically.
So, yeah, so a crackhead smokes his rock and then goes about their business. What the fuck is the difference? You know, our hophead does their shit and then fucking goes on little naps and then comes back. And then goes out. And then comes back. And then goes out. And then comes back. And Bart PD, you seriously need to keep your punk ass on the platform.
Especially since, from my understanding, they're the highest paid department in the area.
These motherfuckers, I've seen it. They have legit, you know what they're doing. You see them, and they look at them.
And then they turn.
Then they look at me, and then they leave. And it's like, come on, nigga. You ain't gonna do your job? Remove this fucking dope fiend. They're literally... Hey, whatever, and then they walk off.
Yeah.
Normal PD, what do they have to do? They actually have to deal with it. They actually sometimes have to do their job. You know, and part of the reason they don't like doing their job is they do have to deal with those dope fiends.
Yeah.
You know, which I do agree. It is fucking annoying. You shouldn't have to do that. But we also need to have, you know, our policing needs to be a lot more like Germany. 2 years of school, then you're out on the fucking, pavement, and then followed by 3 years of school, you know, while you're still out on the fucking road. Then at the end of your 5th year, you've graduated to using your pistol because you know how to use your pistol. There's many videos where I'm watching and I'm like, yep, that's a justified. You don't see your nigga on the other side, bro?
Yeah.
Fucking trigger discipline. The fuck are you doing?
There was that incident during the protests in Vallejo, I believe, where the guy, you know, he was out doing shit he shouldn't have been doing, but it wasn't physically harming anyone, and the only thing conceived as a weapon that he had was a hammer in his belt. because he was, I think he was going into a Rite Aid or something like that after they had all fucking, busted through, and he was just going and getting what he could. That's what happens in these situations. It is what it is. It sucks. Luckily for corporations, it's insured. But
so don't risk your life for any fucking corporation, whether you work for them. Don't be no Captain Save-A-Ho. Like that fireman, that was the other thing I wanted to talk about. He was big ass dude, and it's some little idiot who's running his mouth. He's pissed because they don't have, I think, the blunt wraps he wanted. So he's throwing a pissy little hissy fit. And then, dude gets involved.
Oh, yeah.
And he tries to manhandle him, and he's kind of winning the fight. And homeboy's like, all right, let me get this gun off of me so I can start to move back without having to worry about this motherfucking falling and then him getting it. And he literally hands the gun off to his girlfriend, who she was 100% fucking losing it.
Oh, yeah.
She legit seen the size of her boyfriend, seen the size of the fireman, who had to be like 6'4", 6'5".
He was a big dude.
260. He was a big guy, and he was legit on top of the dude. She said, and I think the comments, someone said, I counted, whether or not 17 times is accurate. I heard
it was
far
multiple
more,
times. It was
far
multiple
north
times.
of 6, where she was like, stop, get off him. She legit thought he was gonna die. She was completely fucking panicked. Homeboy understood, I'm just in a fight. He's not hitting me. We're in a scuffle. She lost her shit. She said, I'm gonna shoot you. The second you hear that, disengage. He most likely would have probably got up, give me the fucking gun. Don't you be in fucking public.
Yeah.
But instead she got so scared, she fucking popped him. Which is really bad for you because you're dead now, which sucks because you were a fireman and we all like those guys. And it sucks for her because she took a life literally because she thought that her boyfriend was going to die. Yep. And it's literally like, after George Floyd, and, he had him in a pin. He wasn't choking him. He could have choked him. He could have been choking him if he would have cinched his neck and his shoulder. He could have been choking him out. But I'm pretty sure that dude didn't know that. He was just trying to hold him down. And Captain Save-A-Ho, he ended up dead. Just leave it. Back up. When I was fucking, 10 years ago, when I was reading up on how to be or being a CHP and got one of the handbooks given to me, I'm reading it, and one of the rules is, hey, motherfucker, when you're not on duty, you're not on duty. Call that shit in. You got niggas' numbers. Yep. Hey, Bill, you're on. The fuck over here. Why? What's going on? Blah, 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 blah. And then he'll call it in and then head over there. Or, I'm over here. Hold on. Blah, 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 blah. And then the situation's handled. But you got a lot of dumb cops, and I hate to say it, you really do. And it's a fucking problem. Listening to a lot of these true crime stories, it is very disheartening to see just really bad police work screw a lot of people. And at the same time, but this is the irritating thing. When they're talking about the good ones, most of them are on track to becoming detectives or already detectives. So they're reactionary. They're not action. They're not proactive. They're reactive. And I need better proactive.
Yeah.
That's the uniformed officer. He needs to go to diplomacy classes. I need a lightweight Jean-Luc Picard Worf out there. That's the way it needs to be.
Yep.
I need someone intelligent enough to be like, all right, calm down.
Like de-escalation. That's the biggest thing. And a lot of them don't. They come in and they immediately start.
They come in super hot. Remember when we were going to We were going to Silver Terrace to coach.
Oh, yeah.
And we got pulled over. The stop sign is completely obstructed to the point where you couldn't even see the pole that said stop because of the way, just naturally the way the cars are parked and how the tree and the branch and the leaves came down. You couldn't see it at all.
Yep.
The strip on the floor and the words that spelled out stop on the ground were completely faded, gone. Couldn't see them. You could barely make out the outline when you were there, and that punk ass cop camped just up the way.
Yep.
And then when we blew past it, because he knew it was obstructed, he came, and instead of just being all like, hey, you guys really need to pay attention, he was like, what's your problem?
Yeah.
And it was like, excuse me? And that's literally how it was like, what?
Yep.
And he goes, you know what you did? No, I didn't. Explain to me what I did. Hella attitude.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, as a grown-ass man, another grown-ass man, coming at me, cross as fuck. I don't give a fuck what uniform you have on. The only thing that's keeping me from fucking you up is you wearing that badge and that fucking gun. And a lot of those niggas know that. The good ones will address you with respect.
Yeah.
It's a job to them. That guy was a punk-ass little bitch. I wish I knew his name so I could call him out. But he was a punk-ass little bitch.
That shit's long gone.
Who literally was just throwing his weight around. And it's like, homeboy, if you didn't have any of that shit on, I know for a fact you wouldn't even look me in the fucking eye because you're that much of a bitch.
Yep.
But you got that badge on, you got that gun on, and I know this for a fact because I lived it. Not to mention my father-in-law was CHP and he was Fish and Game. And he goes, I could tell you from experience, not so much Fish and Game, those motherfucking dudes are cool. CHP too, a lot of CHP are cool. They're just dicks because they got they're on the road a lot. And most likely they're dicks because their back hurts. And normal PD though, these motherfuckers don't do shit. I know this because most SFPD that I've gotten to know vaguely, we don't do nothing. We don't do shit. And a lot of that was Chesa Dean's little, soft
a lot of the ones I talked to, it's like, there's prosecute. There's nothing they can do in cases. Like,
so what are you doing, bro?
With like, so I found out. I don't even know. Again, I don't remember if I said that on here before or not. But whatever, I'm saying it again. Is that the Safeway, like on 30th and Mission, is barely ordering like their beers, like shipments, like Modelo and shit, because they would put them in big displays. People would come with shopping carts, load them up, and walk the fuck out. And then, when the cops did show up, there's nothing we can do. It's under X amount. There's nothing we can do.
Yeah, and that's fucking dumb.
And that's
bad law.
Exactly, and that starts at a certain level, whether it's DA or if it's a city ordinance. You know what I mean? Like, it starts at a certain level, but by the time it trickles down, they're like, you force them. The ones that actually want to do their job have been forced to be complacent.
Then they're like, oh, now I got to sit on my hands, and that's dumb as fuck. That's what I mean.
Yep.
A lot of the problems with policing come from the inept people who run shit. And I hate to say it, but a lot of politicians, they're pretty fucking stupid. Please do not think because that dude is a lawyer, they are intelligent. No. He was taught to interpret law.
Well, and
which
oftentimes,
means
I feel like a lot of
laws just quoting fucking precedent. This shit isn't incredibly difficult.
Yeah.
It's about money and you actually wanting to sit there and learn the shit, which is, guess what? Anything and fucking everything. That's literally what it means. A doctor's not intelligent. Can a doctor be intelligent? Yes. But literally your basic physician knows
perfect
very
way
little.
it was put
I know more about muscles. He knows more about muscles than your average physician. And that's bad.
Not nurse.
Just because
nurse.
Nurses are badass. Those motherfuckers need to be getting paid a lot more. And I'm just saying, you know, all the female nurses out there, if you're ever hard up and you want to get laid, just find, you know, the nicest, coolest dude you can just be like, hey, nigga, I'm fucking taking your dick. And then, you know, he's just gonna have to be like, or better yet, you know what? Find, you know, a dorky, like, college freshman, and then you're gonna own him. Because, you have a vagina, and he's gonna be like, I'm getting my fucking rocks off. You literally can be like, you're on a regimen, because I work so much, I fucking beat off twice a day. That way, when I get off and I call you, you better bring your little ass to my house and you be ready. I have Viagra. You're gonna take it.
Viagra gain. May cause loss of scalp or penis.
Yeah. The Simpsons were the shit
for bald, important men.
But seriously, you know, I would have liked that to happen for me when I was 18. So, you know, ladies in your 40s when you're single, just go pick up a little 18-year-old. You'll teach him a thing or two, and he'll be getting laid. And I can be a wingman for everybody. Lesbians too. Do it for the lesbians too. You know, you need a little lickety split. They know the playground a little bit better than anybody else. No, but seriously, help these little niggas out. No, you can actually. They're so, you know, pussy driven. And, you know, you're an authority figure. If you're a source, like, we're dogs. We really are. And if there's, you know, not with every dude, because some dudes do got game and they could just pill other chicks, but, like, a lot of these little dorky niggas, you'll be helping them out, and then you can be like, all right, head off, and then the next little girl that meets them, she's like, all right, this motherfucker is pretty stand up, you know, and most importantly, I'm getting my little niggas laid. And the chicks, too, because, you know, you teach him to do the way you want it done. It's not like he's gonna say no. It's his first time. Eat it. I'm not really partial to that, but I guess I'm gonna have to do this if I want to keep going. Alright, fuck it. You know? I mean, me personally, I'd be like, we ain't doing that pagan shit. Not happening. But seriously, ladies, hook the little niggas up. And it might stop a lot of these mass shootings. You never know.
A lot of these are...
You could be the first line and be like, lock this little motherfucker up. Because...
What's crazy is how many of them have red flags and nothing.
Yeah, it's sad. It's annoying.
Like...
It's annoying. At least with minorities, they shoot other bad people. I'm just going to say that. Sometimes. Not all the time. Sometimes. When it's gang-on-gang violence, who gives a shit? Right?
Unless it's the fucking modern drive-bys where they just fucking spray.
Yeah, I don't like that.
He'll hear him in that.
I will, you know, when we were kids in the areas that we grew up and the gang members that we grew up with, the criteria for a certain color that were born in this country was he has to be a named guy. And I know that for the blocks, for, you know, red on blue, and then unfortunately for the other side, it was if they look like it, they're probably it, just do it. And I know a lot of, you know, that one summer, a lot of people I went to school with, elementary school, middle school, high school with, ended up getting shot, and they weren't gang affiliated at all.
Yeah.
And that's sad. That's sad. You know, and it sucks. You know, like I said before, San Francisco, it ain't all fucking flowers and sunshine and hippies and shit. Shit goes down in the city, man. Like when the Army Street Towers came down, they found a lot of bodies in that place. In the walls, in the basements, in the the roof,
yeah.
The top level. They found hella bodies in that place. It's like, damn. Now you look at it and they're just a bunch of little
townhouses, yeah,
that fit fucking like 20 families. Like, come on, dude, that's bullshit. Now you're building all these little fucking I want to get into it. What's up with the Panama Papers, too? Because a lot of San Francisco is owned by that scam or that corrupt, bunch of real estate bullshit.
Yeah.
It's
all the fun. Yeah.
Man, I really wish I was a politician, because I'd literally run off of the Elliot Ness platform. Oh, I'm a-coming. I don't give a flying fuck about low-level criminals. I care about, high-level people doing shit that are quite sus. Elon Musk. And yeah, Dave Chappelle, I'm a big fan, homeboy.
Huge fan, bro.
It's a straight bitch move to fucking defend Elon Musk. Who cares if we're booing him? You don't live here. And then to call, I gotta catch the clip. I was looking at it just before we got on, but apparently he was talking shit about people being poor, and it's like, first off, nigga, my poor ass motherfucking dollars went to helping you make the money you have, nigga, for your fucking entertainment. Honestly, homeboy, what the fuck do you truly provide to people other than I enjoy you making me laugh? Do I need it to live? Fuck no. My money that I paid to Netflix in turn pays you.
Yep.
So if I fucking boo your friend, not you, because your friend is a dumb bitch who literally made his money off of, white people stealing nigga shit.
He's
in
a modern
Africa.
day
He
fucking...
literally,
Yeah.
his people got their money from taking an emerald farm and I'm gonna call it an emerald farm because emeralds are worth a fuck ton of money. That's a mine. No, that's a farm. That shit just keeps on giving. Emeralds are the most expensive jewel in the world. Diamonds aren't worth shit. Believe it or not, they're not. And all these motherfucking people who, there's a new campaign, trying to say, we have real diamonds. Don't believe that bullshit. Lab-made diamonds, rubies, and emeralds have reached the point where they are literally on par with the natural, real thing. If you get a fat diamond naturally, go ahead, have it. That's yours. They can't produce something that big just yet. So have at it.
Talking about
fun.
your average
I agree.
little fucking...
Your little ass diamond? No, most of them come out brown and yellow. They smash them and then they use them to make diamond drill bits. Diamond this, diamond that. So it ain't as fucking rare as you think. It's actually one of the more prominent fucking gems.
Yeah, of all the gemstones, it's definitely one of the most easily accessible.
It's emeralds, and this motherfucker's dad is a con artist. Elon Musk, for the past, 10 years, has been saying self-driving next year, this next year. Next year comes, it's all the same.
Well, they have
shit.
Self-driving, but it fucking can't detect shit.
He's a con artist.
Dude, and that's what I've said it,
and then pumps it out
where
there.
He's essentially a nice combination of a salesman and a modern-day Edison.
And he knows that you have to pay people.
As far he had one company that he sold. He used that money. He didn't start PayPal. Mm-mm. He used the money from
the fact.
Yeah, and then used the money from that to buy. He's a hell of a businessman. He's a hell of a salesman.
Well, he's not a hell of a businessman. He got lucky. Excuse me, sorry for chewing. He got lucky because his dad had money.
Yeah.
Which
it allows you to buy your way out of mistakes.
It allows you to actually explore and learn whatever you're interested in. His was computers and technology. Let's look at Billie Eilish. What the fuck was hers? Music. What was, the hell's his name? That white dude that looks like a fucking doofy.
Which one?
He punched fucking Bieber. White dude.
Punched Bieber?
Yeah, weird motherfucker. Or choked him. White dude who's hella cool. I don't know any of his songs because I don't listen to music. The hell's his name? He's a white guy. Tattoos right here, all over his neck.
Post Malone?
Post Malone, there we go. Post Call Malone. He is a cool dude, but grew up rich. Loved the music. Dabbled in music. Lo and behold, the motherfucker's good at music. Kanye West. Same motherfucking thing. If you're a professor, I'm sorry, motherfucker, you're getting paid.
Yeah.
That's you're not
over six figures.
You're not fucking poor.
You're over 100,000, and especially at that time.
Yeah, she was making money, and Kanye was. He did have the capability of being someone highly intelligent. He literally funneled all of that into music. Then he got in that car accident, and that completely jumbled his shit. And now he's lightly schizophrenic. When you're slightly off, you tend to say racist shit. A lot of unfortunately, mental illness is kind of a big thing. A lot of people in my family are. Thank God, most of it's through trauma. Not through hereditary, because hereditary.
No, I know what you say, but it's just
as fucked up as that sounds.
As fucked up as it is, thank God it's through trauma and not hereditary.
Yeah, because if it's hereditary,
then you're fucked.
That's a hard bullet to dodge. But mine was all through being assaulted or watching somebody die or killing a couple people. Actually, killing a couple people tends to. It changes you, but not the way watching someone die is a far greater hit than killing somebody. And I've compiled this data through years of listening to vets talking to actual fucking vets, and talking to some niggas from the streets that have done some things that may or may not be illegal. And well, most of them are dead, so I don't know if they did. No, actually, they never did time for the people that they iced, but they did do time. And who cares? These people were pieces of shit anyway.
Yeah, most of the ones that got iced.
And Piggy, I need to put some money on your books. Actually, I really do. I need to find your shit and put some money on your books, because he was a teen, and 40-year-olds went to try and beat him up, and my nigga shot him, and he died. So, really, did he kill him, or was he defending his life?
Yeah.
It's a grown-ass man who came out of prison. I don't know if you know this. You better work out there. It ain't. No. It's not a fun place. And this dude wasn't extraordinarily built or anything, but he's no slouch. Man. He was no slouch, and it's sad to see it happen on both accounts. It really is. But, it's sad. We really do gotta clamp down on a lot of corruption, especially in the police force, because they have been infiltrated. FBI said it. They've been infiltrated by white supremacists. Hard fucking core. And that is a problem, because those people don't value anything. They don't even value other white people. No. They really don't.
Especially if you associate. Yeah.
Then it's like, what the fuck? Yeah, they don't like that shit. Your relationship, my relationship, we both have, interracial.
Yeah.
We have interracial children.
Yep.
So it's like it would be a big problem for them. A very big problem. How many, little white and little white boys and girls have to sit there and watch, they're still young, so at that point the love of their life literally be sold like cattle. Yeah. And you're just sitting there watching them. Yeah. Mouth just drooped. Or your little white girl fell in love with a little black dude. You guys go off and nobody caught you, then all of a sudden, oh shit, we got caught. And it's predetermined, or socially, I have to separate myself.
Yep.
oh, why are you doing that to me? And then it's like, oh, or, you know.
And that situation right there went well into the last century.
Or you have it to where he legit, you know, he was all like, it's my fault. I did it. I made her do it.
Yeah.
You know, think of her. She's going to be like, oh, fuck. That's if they buy it and if they don't want to fucking raw pay her. Because, you know, in the South, they didn't really give a shit about, you know.
Women were just a slight.
They didn't give a shit about anybody's lives post, you know, Civil War. And that goes for damn near a lot of places post-war. So it's going to be quite difficult to keep, you know, motherfuckers safe. And you have, you know, you take it to today, that same shit persists. And then not to mention, you take that element out of it, you have good cops all over the fucking United States coming up with ways to solve, you know, very difficult problems dealing with, you know, people who want to do, you know, suicide by cop or whatever. They come up with good protocol, but the police union's like, nope, we don't want to do it. We have. That's
a big one. Is the police union?
They're garbage.
Union itself,
they're shitty. And I'm a union guy, but I'm also for unions being I love regulation. I fucking love it. My body does a lot of regulation. That's how the motherfucker
like this
keeps
inverse
moving.
reaction to regulation is ridiculous. Like, and it doesn't. And I understand the aspect of overstepping a bounds and overregulating something.
Much, but
I accept that. But a level of regulation is what keeps money in your pocket because it keeps the banks from just taking your money and going. Closed up shop. Everyone's money's gone. Regulation keeps that from happening.
It really does. All these housing fucking, you know, collapses, I've said it before, it's manufactured. They do that so they could steal all of the fucking homes. You look at it now, corporations own homes. We just rent them out as Americans. We're not allowed to have the American dream. I was watching something where apparently, you know, boomers and Gen Z are blaming fucking millennials for everything. Like, first off, nigga, our
set this in
generational
motion.
gap is like fucking 35 goddamn years, which is ridiculous. Not to mention, you have, you know, they're all, well, you're the generation of participation trophies. I was a child. Who the fuck makes the rules as a child? That was you. That was you and your corrupt ass way of doing shit, your lazy way of doing shit. I'm a great businessman. We made fucking $800 million this year.
You're all relying on technology now.
What are we projected to make?
You in front of the TV?
Exactly.
How many people do we know were raised by a TV?
Damn near everybody. Well, not to mention, you literally...
And I'm not talking about, like, allowing your child to watch TV or play video games, but utilizing that as a babysitter.
Well, and a lot of that came from you working people once you figured out that, oh shit, we sold everything off. How are we going to operate? Oh, well, we'll just work the people we have now to death.
Yep.
And then when they're done, we'll just...
Or we're going to cut back, or you're part of those cutbacks, so it's now to be able to maintain the same lifestyle, I have to get a second job.
And then they complain that, you know, nobody wants to work anymore. In our generation, fuck yeah, I'm gonna quit. The fuck? Hold on.
We've also gotten to a point to where we understand what we're worth.
No, yeah, and it gets to a point where you asked me to go above and beyond 6 times.
And have not...
I have yet to be rewarded for doing any of that. I helped you out. You didn't help me out. I helped you out. And then you're over here rewarding other people, or you get rewarded, and then it just stops there. I'm not even asking for a raise, nigga. I'm asking for, oh, here goes a little this. Hey, you could leave a little bit earlier. You could do that. Motherfuckers don't want to do that. They just want to use you. And one thing,
or here's an extra vacation day.
Yeah.
Or here's something like that would be even better.
And exploiting.
Look at what happened when we were at the spa. When we made the company. $2 million, or each store was $1 million store, some shit like that.
Yeah,
we made the company a fuck ton of money.
In like March.
And
we paid for the store in March. No. I'm sorry. Yeah. We paid for the rent on the store in March.
For the rest of the year.
Everything
Expenses for the
paid
year
off.
were covered. So now it's all gravy. Their thank you wasn't even a thank you. They didn't like have corporate come down and say, thank you.
They had
our manager
printed out.
They had thank you cards printed out from corporate
with their names on it. Printed out with their names on it.
And then
had
our manager go get pizza so everyone could have a slice or two of pizza.
And one $10 gift card to, I think, a movie theater. When she handed that out to me, I took the fucking gift card and I threw that right in the fucking garbage. And she was like, well, you don't want that? I was like, fuck no, I don't want that. It's an insult. I made you how much money?
And I can't even get a movie ticket.
Yeah, that's not going to get me a movie. In San Francisco. Not to mention, if it was just $10 to go buy at the airport, what am I going to buy at the airport? I'm at the airport, bitch.
You get one large fries.
I'm at SFO, motherfucker, during the time that it's literally
my mom just dealt with that at her job.
City
she's
in America.
I think she hit her 25 year at her job, but
I'm supposed to be loyal to you. Oh shit, I gotta get going.
Oh shit. Hey, hit that subscribe, like, comment. That shit just ended abruptly.
Yeah, sorry, niggas.
Later.